Hi everybody, I'm Morgan Crosbie from Finch Cadillac in London, Ontario, Canada, and you're watching Cars and Crosbie. Well, I'm back in action. I'm in my element right now with a lot of Escalades and full-size SUVs in particular that are arriving in. And then also in the Cadillac world, a lot of the XT SUVs, so our unibody SUVs like the XT5 and the XT6 in particular are flowing in. So I'm fully inundated. I have about 9 deliveries on the go, and I thought I'd film an episode for you guys showing you some things that I have going on in my world right now on the delivery and dealership side. And then if you're interested in getting more of that Cars and Crosbie touch that I've been giving you guys on Thursdays in terms of giving you an update on what construction or production, sorry, not construction. We are kind of constructing in a way, but we call it production updates because it is Thursday as well. That means that I get my allotment today. We get some constraints, and it's been long overdue that I do an update to give you guys a checkup from the neck up if you guys are trying to order a vehicle from General Motors right now and you're interested in getting some insight on how you can navigate that ordering process. If you're just catching along for the first time, this is going to help you out in making sure that you don't put in an order that doesn't get accepted. If there's an easy way to be able to retrofit and get your vehicle here sooner, I'd much rather have it in my driveway with one less feature than be continuously waiting and getting frustrated because this vehicle is not getting accepted. So stay tuned. I've got an all production and Cadillac episode coming your way. All right, guys, it's a beautiful August morning, and you can see the Cars and Crosbie foliage background is changing with the season, and we've got a premium luxury Escalade here that we're going to do a lesson on. When you have the ability to navigate around certain options and make it custom to your lifestyle, that's where I really excel. You know, this over here is a platinum with the Radiant package, and this is very easy to get an amazing look because you clicked every option. So from a price point perspective, obviously this is going to look great with the 12-spoke chrome aluminum wheels on here, your Galvano surround with the monochromatic logos. That was all done from the factory. Not a lot of originality, but it still looks great. Now, where I come in is if you're trying to be able to do this on a budget, or if things are starting to get canceled and you can't do them, that's where I'm going to come in. So, for example, on this one, there is a lot of things that we customized in particular. This is a premium luxury in Black Raven, and we've done a lot to customize it on this specific vehicle to give it a very nice life ahead of it with a new family. This is a family SUV. This is a stylish family SUV, and you can see right away on the outside that there's some things that give it away that this is going to be used for a family lifestyle. On the top here, we have an accessory from the cargo convenience package, which is a Thule locking overhead crossbars that you can then put cargo management devices such as Thule's on there. It does come with a set of locks for your keychain, so you'll see on here that there is a locking mechanism to be able to do that, and that's going to give you the ability to store round obtuse long items such as skis and whatnot up on top of the Escalade instead of getting the skis inside the back there, losing out on precious cargo space for luggage, or especially if you're using the third row. So utility, bringing that U and making it a capital U in the SUV. Now, this is the premium luxury non-platinum grille. There's 3 different grills that we have at our disposal, and I don't think I have any regular platinum grills here. This is what it kind of looks like. So on a platinum Escalade in the new generation, this is an older gen, this is a 2020, it is like this. It's straight across, and then on the non-platinums, it goes to something like this. And then you can choose to get the Radiance package on both of them, which would make it like this. I like this. If you know what the Mercedes-Benz lineup is like, and I'm not to say that we're trying to copy them, but it's always nice to compliment a good design cue. The Mercedes-Benz AMG lineup has this really cool grille that is very similar in nature that I just kind of like. So ironically, I'm not going to try to shoot myself in the foot for when someone comes in for a platinum Escalade, but I actually kind of like the premium luxury grille more, and we've actually done it for some people where we've swapped the grills out from a platinum to the premium luxury because they liked it as well. Again, just for reference, this is what it looks like more on the platinum from the new generation. It's that straight across kind of bar look. And then the premium luxuries, it's this. Now, another thing, the wheels that are from the Radiance package, the gentleman that ordered this wanted them. He's a very traditional individual, and he wants these, and they're not available. So that was one of the other reasons why I got involved in helping out, and I was able to secure them and we have them on order. So in Canada and most northern places, winter is a thing. And what we did, which just is an absolute rock star of a move, is we got the original wheels and we put winter tires on them. So that even though these wheels may have taken, 4 or 5 months to get because they're so hard to get, we're gonna use these as our summers. So these wheels here came with the Bridgestone Alenzas in an all-season tire. I took them off, and when the chromes came in, just because I'm awesome, I had a set here that was already available. But let's say, for example, they arrived 4 months down the road. That's fine because we're not going to use them until the spring, and it's October right now. So instead of just saying, nope, can't do it, sorry, they're not available, I said, you know what? I got an idea. Let's get a set of winter tires, throw them on the OEM originals here. You use those for the winter, and by the time spring comes around, I'm going to have your shoes ready to go. Now, that helps out if you're financing the vehicle, because then you can include it all in the same agreement, or if you're leasing it, you can add it to the residual as well. So that's most importantly why we're doing it. We want to pay for it up front, even though they may not be here in time, because then you can include it in on your agreement. So we have here the winter tires on the OEM set here. I think these OEM sets look pretty dang good all on their own. We've got black Raven and chrome accents everywhere. The C-pillar, in my opinion, is my favorite style cue, and it's the easiest way that I can recognize that it's a premium luxury. We did the black logos, and then we also did the monochromatic emblems on here as well. Now, family man, family SUV. What did we do for that as well? Well, we have this beautiful Cadillac crest embossed cargo net in the back here for, again, let's say you're going watermeloning, or I guess in a more northern atmosphere right now, pumpkin picking. There you go, that's for your pumpkins. And then this is one of my favorite things that I never thought I would use until I started applying them to my lifestyle. And that is this cargo organizer with these duffel bag kind of straps here. Why do I use this all the time? Well, guess what? I transition from vehicle to vehicle quite a bit, or if I'm going to go from my personal vehicle to my wife's vehicle for the weekend trip or something like that, I can easily take this out with all of my personal items and then move it into my next vehicle. So if you're a rock star and you have a bunch of different vehicles, that's one use. The second use that I found for it is I put mine in the center here on my Tahoe. Yes, I know it's a Cadillac accessory. I should have probably done this before I went on camera, but this is a one-man show. This is where mine is on my Tahoe, so that I have an area that I can put some stuff, because I got a car seat up there, and then I don't have to worry about it rolling around. So that was the area that I have it on my Tahoe, and it really helps out with making it so that you don't have round objects or anything that can roll around when you're driving move on inside the vehicle. Now on the driver's side here, we do have some nice features. We do have the driving assist package that's on here. So ST1, which is the air ride suspension. Sorry, you know what? This does not have that. That is the 4x4 settings. I apologize. That's a little embarrassing. I should have known that. Now with this being a premium luxury, it does come with the walnut wood. So this would be the same kind of interior fitment that you would see on a Platinum Sport with the jet black interior. So again, traditional styling. Got a nice Cars and Crosbie personal gift, a gift from Finch Cadillac here as well, and some hand sand for the customer. You know what? I was going to wait this for the customer, but I think it's just so satisfying to take off. There we go. Now it's all complete. So on the inside here, we've got our beautiful interface. Super Cruise is still unavailable, so that is something that we don't have the ability to get, even though it was ordered. So the price of this vehicle was $2,300 more when we ordered it, and then when it showed up, it just didn't have Super Cruise. And it's been the nature of the beast for everybody, including myself with my vehicle. And unfortunately, it's just not possible to retrofit it after the date. So unfortunately, this customer was not able to get the Super Cruise, and you're likely not going to be able to get it too if you already have one on order. It might change, but proper expectations, that's just one of those things that as a dealer, it shows in my inventory that I have an inbound unit coming with Super Cruise on it, and then when it lands and the invoice is on the window sticker, it just doesn't have it. So you can get mad, you can yell and shout, but at least he has a vehicle in his driveway, and it has adaptive cruise control at that. So we're gonna move on to the next few units. This is the Escalade project that I have coming out. I've got tons of vehicles just in this area alone. I've got this XT6, I've got XT5s over there that are going out. I've got a Yukon Denali over there that we're gonna start working on a project with. There's lots of fun adventures, so stay tuned. Let's go inside, and I'm gonna show you a new option accessory for Corvette owners that I think is gonna be a hit. All right, guys, we're back in the boardroom. I know it's still decent fall weather, but we got to get down to business, and I don't want to be flustering around with paperwork and having people run into my office because I have no door in my office, and I don't know how Rick Conti is able to get away with filming without having more people come into his office, because I just don't have any way of being able to escape when someone comes in. And not to say that I'm not happy about that. I really do enjoy when people come in from out of the country or city and want to drop in, but it makes it very difficult for me to be able to film. So I like this. You're going to see more of this because unfortunately we have winter on its way, and we've got to get our thinking caps out there, especially if you're looking at trying to order a vehicle. So if you're just following along for the first time, I'm here to help you out. I am a Canuck, and just because I live in Canada doesn't mean I can't give you some insight on what it's like to order a GM product. There is a lot of different things right now in this day and age that are making it so that we can't put together the pizza of your choice. Maybe you were looking to have mushrooms on your pizza, and guess what? We ran out of mushrooms. Well, instead of going home hungry, I still want you to be able to get something in your stomach. And so I'm going to help you in navigating a way to be able to get something built, because as of right now, a lot of dealerships are not informing their customers on how to order vehicles in this day and age. They keep going in with the same order and expecting a different result, and that's insanity. You can't do that. And so I'm here to help you out. If you are in Canada and you're wanting to order a vehicle based on my allotment, I am going to be one of your best assets. And in particular right now, I am running low on Escalades on my list. So if you are interested in ordering an Escalade and you live in Canada, that is something that in particular I can help you out with, and I can likely do it faster than your local dealership, especially if you haven't gone on their waiting list yet. If you've already been on there for a year and then you come to me, it's probably not going to be the case, but let's put it this way. If I get 60 to 100 Escalades a year and your local dealership only gets 10 and you're 10th on the list on me and first on the list there, I'm going to be able to help you out faster. So that's kind of the logic that has worked with the Corvettes. And now with full-size SUVs, you're starting to see people realize that this is the case as well. It's not just the Corvette world where you go to an out-of-town dealership in order to get your allotment. And I would love to be able to help you out. If you learned something from my channel and you're interested in getting a vehicle, reach out to me, and Sean and I will help you out in being able to get your Corvette, Escalade, Tahoe, Yukon, Trax, whatever it might be, ordered. And we can deliver it to you if you live in Ontario. If not, we can help you in shipping it. Just today alone, we had a ZR2 arrive, and it's going to Halifax, which is on the very east coast of Canada, about 5 hours. Oh, no, not 5 hours. Like 12, 13 hours, 2,000 kilometers, 1,300 miles away. So we are coast to coast now, and the internet has been able to help me in connecting you with everyone. So let's go through some heavy hitters on what is going on for production. Now, a cycle consensus is something that comes out usually the beginning of every month. Every 2 to 3 weeks we get one, and this is telling us when things are going to get built. So if you are looking at placing an order and your order is going to get accepted, Mr. Customer, or Joe, guess what? Your Corvette's going to get built, and they're calling you right now, or maybe they're going to call you in a week or two from now. You can use this specific information, being able to apply a timeline to when you can expect your vehicle to come. Now, big disclaimer, there are things that happen, there are delays that happen, but if everything goes according to plan, this is when your Escalade, Tahoe, Yukon, Trailblazer, Trax, Corvette is going to get built. Now, let's list off some heavy hitters. We're going to usually go by the plants. So right now in Lansing, you're seeing the Enclave and the Traverse. They're going to get built on November the 14th. So if you had an order that was being submitted as of this week, it is going to be built on the week of November the 14th. So about a month, 5-6 weeks away from now. We're looking at our Encores, which are built in Korea. They are going to be built on November 21st. Big disclaimer with that is they're built in Korea, so they have about a 2 to 3 month time frame to get here overseas, and they usually land in the port of New Jersey to then be shipped out accordingly. So think of that as like the plant being in New Jersey, even though it's in South Korea, because that's where they're going to get shipped to. For our Cadillacs that are in the sedan lineup out of Lansing, they are going to be built on the 21st of November. Lansing, Michigan is a very central plant. There is some quality control issues that I've been seeing out of that plant. So big disclaimer, if you're looking at getting a CT Cadillac of certain kind, do not expect that it's going to come out smoothly. again, on my channel, I'm just here to tell you the truth. And I want to always give you guys proper expectations. Sometimes we're not batting 100 on certain things, and we need to be able to address that situation and set a proper expectation in order to make sure that you don't feel like you've been slighted. You know, a major thing that I'm noticing right now is we're being told a certain time frame from General Motors, and then it doesn't happen, and then it comes back on me, and General Motors doesn't really give me any explanation to be able to back up why this didn't happen, and I'm the one that gets yelled at. And I'm all the salespeople out there. I want you to chime in and comment if you think that this is the same with you, and I guarantee you it is. So don't get mad at your salesperson if he says that it's going to be there at a certain date and it doesn't follow through. It's likely due to quality control issues or part constraints or things that were related to the logistics of this vehicle more than anything. This is the real unknown out of all of this. So this stuff is guaranteed. We know that this is when it's going to get built, and it hasn't over the last few years of this tumultuous time really varied from that. So in terms of the information that I'm giving to you right now, this is the tried and true stuff. The unknowns are after it's built, in terms of them running out of a microchip for a specific component. You know, the heated seats, which I said were going to be on it, are in it, but there might be something that's related to it and not being able to work right away, or maybe there's a rail strike, or maybe there's an ice storm or something like that that's caused a logistical issue. That's the kind of stuff that I need you to take a proper expectation and disclaimer in knowing that we can't control. Sorry for that rant, but it was a good one. XTs. So these are out of our Kansas City plant and our Spring Hill, Tennessee plant. So very central Midwestern plant location for it to have an easy ETA for everybody to kind of get. They're doing pretty well, but I've noticed that they do stuff in batches recently. So you'll see that they'll build a bunch of stuff, it'll sit around, and then all of a sudden, all at once, like right now, I am getting a windfall of XTs in particular. I think right now on my lot, just personally for me, I have about 8 XT5s and XT6s that are going out, and that's what I've been very inundated with. And the XT4s were coming in quite heavily over the last few weeks in the end of September. Now we're starting to see the XT5 and the XT6s come in more. Now those, if you have one that you're going to get built, are going to be built on the week of November 14th. The Lyric, it has not got any ETAs right now for Canada, at least. I can't speak for the US in terms of when those Lyric orders are coming, because they're very separate. But that is something that we're also going to be talking a lot more on the channel about in the near future. I have a lot of people that are coming to me saying, hey, I see this new Blazer commercial. It looks awesome. When can I get one? And I go, I don't know. And I'm saying I don't know because even if I do have a rumor or something like that, I'm not going to tell you it until I can guarantee you it. So this is the horse's mouth. When I see it on here is when you should start getting a proper expectation. So if anybody tells that you can get a Lyric and it's going to come in at this time, or you're going to get a new Corvette Z06 or hybrid or whatever might come about, any of these new products, don't listen to them. Cars and Crosby's here to help you out, and that goes along with that proper expectation. It says no estimated shipments, meaning that they're not producing anything right now for it, meaning that there is no ETA. So unfortunately, I don't have a time frame for you yet. Escalades, November 14th, with Escalades being out of the Arlington plant. We are going to see the Tahoe and the Yukon also having the same target production week. We had some tumultuous times with the Arlington plant. We actually had a shutdown last week, and we're still dealing with some major issues, and I'll get back to that once we're through all of these consensuses. For trucks right now, we're seeing the week of the 21st of November being when you're going to have your truck being built, and those are out of the Silao St. Louis plant in Mexico, Oshawa, Ontario, or Fort Wayne, Indiana. The HDs are being built for the 28th, and that's Flint, Michigan, and Oshawa for that plant. Being up north in Canada and Michigan. Corvettes, December 5th. If you have a Corvette and you are going to get it built this week, your Corvette will be built on the week of the 5th in December. So that is interesting. We are seeing the furthest target production week, or TPW, if I say that in a cool slang term in the future, being for the 5th. So the furthest out of all of them, the HDs being the second furthest out, being on the 28th. So that is 7 weeks away from now is when they're building out the Corvettes. That is food for thought, and there's a lot of insight in particular on that all or nothing strategy being the philosophy with the Corvettes. We don't want to do a build shy strategy with those units. So I would have to believe that means that there are some issues that are coming about with the Corvette that are going to be hopefully over by the 5th, because that's when they're starting to accept production of our models that we got. On that note, we have 2 Corvettes for this week. I can't access my phone because it's filming right now. So based off of memory, we have ESV Escalades, Yukon. We have 10 Silverados. We have 4 HD trucks. We've got 10 XT5s because we've been killing it in that. I think there's some XT4s in there as well. There was some Equinoxes. It was a good spread of everything. In terms of what we were getting, there was a lot, but in a segue to the next topic, the constraints is where it can be deceiving. Just because we get a Corvette, again, a bad example because it's an all or nothing strategy. Just because we get an HD truck, it does not mean that we can get whatever you want. And this is the constraints that come out every week. And this tells us when these these production weeks are going to be, that I just told you, that's going to tell you what's going to be in the parts bin of what they can pull out to put on your vehicle. You know, there's hundreds of thousands of vehicles that they're accepting to be built at all of our plants every week. And they have to spread out their chips and their valuable items that they put into these vehicles, such as the tech package with heads-up display, or fancy pants 22-inch wheels, or diesel engines. Those are some things that they have to ration amongst many of different vehicles. You know, just the diesel engine option alone. There is the Silverado, the Sierra. There's the Tahoe, Yukon, and Escalade that all share that same platform. And so there you can see right away how that can be an issue. You know, even with our high performance models, the LT4 is in the Blackwing. It's in the Camaro ZL1. It's in a lot of different variations, and they have to spread that allotment around. So this is going to help you guys out in being able to navigate around that. And I'm going to give you an example that I've used before on the channel. Right now, if you wanted to build a Tahoe in the highest trim level, which is a high country, there is only 15% of them available to be done. So let's take a pie chart. I wish I had a graphics team that could make a pie chart for the channel, but picture a pie chart. Out of the 100 Tahoes that they're going to build for a day, 15 of those Tahoes can be a high country. So that's what that means. And they're going to dole out accordingly in a very complex algorithm the 15 high countries to dealerships. So that doesn't mean that, you know, just because we submitted it first, we're going to get first dibs and we chose to do a high country. A specific dealership is going to be awarded an allotment. So for example, for this week, I think we got a Premier, which is 23% of the allotment. So if you are looking at getting a diesel high country, the diesel constraint right now is 15%, meaning that you not only have to get 1 in 15 chance at your dealership getting your dealership has a Tahoe. That in itself is part of it, which comes back to the allotment. Now let's say that your dealership has a Tahoe. They have a 1 in 15 chance of it being a high country, and they have a 1 in 15 chance of it being a diesel. Those are two separate things. They're not attached to each other in any way, because one is a trim level and one is a powertrain related item. So what that means is that you're dealing with pretty big odds. You have a 1 in 5 chance of one and a 1 in 5 chance of the other. I don't want to do the math on what that means in terms of chances, but it's not a lot. And if you're wanting to set a time frame on getting one before the end of the year or something like that, that means that you not only have to hope that your dealership gets a Tahoe, but you also have to hope that that dealership gets the ability to do a 1 in 5 chance as of right now at the high country and a 1 in 5 chance at a diesel. This is where setting your expectations and having a dealer like me comes in, because I can help you in navigating around that. Yes, I can't magically turn your engine into getting a diesel. That might have been a bad example to use, but it's one of the most pertinent ones right now. But let's use the 22-inch wheels. There is an 8% allotment right now on carbon flash 22-inch wheels for a Tahoe. Not a realistic expectation, but you absolutely want it. Well, guess what? I just might, because I'm awesome, get a Tahoe, and I also might have the ability to get a high country. Let's order separately, like I just did with that Escalade, those black wheels. or let's order some trim pieces or something like that separately, or maybe let's not go about and getting it's Canadian accent, and getting that rear entertainment, which is also a 20% constraint, and let's get the kiddos an iPad. I hate to say it, but sometimes, getting something that's not from General Motors might be the option. That's why I do these Vossen wheels. That's why I'm looking at supporting Apple and getting an iPad or doing something along those lines, because at the end of the day, you might be fighting an uphill battle if you think that you can get everything you want. Being stubborn right now is not going to play to your favor. It's not a Mexican standoff. I don't know what that means. I don't want to be racist. It was nothing against Mexican people. It's not a standoff between you and the dealer, and you thinking that you can break them by saying, I'm not going to budge on getting a diesel high country, and them saying, well, we got to get it to them. They have no control over it. And GM is such a big entity that they have no way of knowing that your specific dealership was requesting for that. It's just the nature of the beast. So unfortunately, these are the rules of engagement. And if you're wanting to get yourself on top and not expect a lightning strike of a chance of getting what you were asking for, take it. If your dealer comes to you and says, congratulations, we got a diesel high country, you need to pat yourself on the back and buy your dealership a nice gift if they do a good job to show them your appreciation, because that is a unicorn in this day and age. Just like my Tahoe SS right now. To get a 6.2 platform in a Tahoe is a 0% chance. You are not going to get a 6.2 in a Tahoe right now at all. So my Tahoe SS, when I go to sell it for the next project, is going to be a rare bird. Let's list off a couple of other ones. Z71, Z71, 20% chance. RST, which used to be a really popular option to mitigate around a low allotment for the Premier and the high country trim levels because they look so cool and sporty. Unfortunately, that's now at a 20% chance. And then we have the LT trim at the very bottom. So again, pie chart, we've got 15% of that being high country. We've got 23%, so the largest market share being Premier, 20% being Z71, 20% being RST, and then the bottom being an LT. So you are 100% eligible in being able to get an LT because that's the bottom trim level. And even if the dealership had a high country and you were first on their list, you would be able to get one. But unfortunately, if you are looking for a high country, as soon as that 15% is up, then it's out of it. You're out of it. So you're SOL. Other things right now, like I was talking about at the auto show, that Sport Performance Package or the Tahoe SS, Cars and Crosby's first, it's 0% chance right now. You can't even get it. The number one issue, though, with Tahoes is the Tech Package or the Luxury Package, as they call it. This is almost on every Tahoe other than a High Country and a Premier. You can't get it. So even if you can get an RST, you can't even get the seats to fold down in the back. You can't get heated steering wheel on it. You can't get the live stream camera mirror. There's a lot of constraints with it. And that comes back to the unfortunate situation that I was talking about at the beginning of this and saying, congratulations, you got a Tahoe. Congratulations, you got an RST. You still may not be able to get all the options that you want. And it has all to do with these chips. So we've gotten pretty good, I would say, at making it so that we can still build a vehicle. And I guess the question that you need to start asking yourself, especially if you've already made a sacrifice on this earlier on, is are you willing to go ahead and getting a vehicle even if it doesn't have the features that you want? I've used coin phrase, love the one that you got. But unfortunately, a lot of these customers that I'm in right now have already made that sacrifice. Maybe they're in a Tahoe with no sunroof. Maybe they're in a Tahoe or an Escalade that doesn't have the rear media. For you to come up to bat again because you put yourself back on the waiting list, and then to have the same situation come about again, maybe you just stay in the one that you're in. That's a question that I think you and your dealership are going to have to do a lot of heart-to-heart on, and that I'm doing with my clients, because this situation, for example, with the luxury package on a Tahoe and Suburban, this says a greater than 4 weeks constraint, and rumors have told me that it's around 6 months that this is going to be an issue. So if that's the case, a lot of these issues that I'm talking about, these are long-term issues. This is not like it's this week and then next week it's going to be something different. We need to be embracing that. So if you are getting near the end of your patience on ordering a vehicle and you want to start making some sacrifices, have no fear in knowing that this is not going to be something where 2 weeks later I'm going to be doing a Cars and Crosby episode and there's going to be all these fancy pants items on the vehicle. I've had to deal with it on my own. I wanted Super Cruise. I really was enthusiastic about showing our semi-autonomous driving assist aids. And even on my Escalade V, which is the flagship product of General Motors, it still was not built. So, it's nothing personal against you. At this point right now, I can reassure you that if you're looking for a diesel engine or something like that, it's long term. So don't think that you can play this waiting game and win. It's going to be there. So if you wanted to get into a Tahoe and you really needed it, or you maybe are already in a Tahoe and you already don't have those features, maybe you don't get it. I know that's not something that you hear very often from a car salesman. At least you can understand that I'm brutally honest when I tell you that maybe it's not the best idea to get it if you've already been in one. Or if you're understanding that there is a market for resale because of how hard these things are to get, maybe you sell the vehicle that has no new rear media or luxury and you get into another one and hopefully make some equity in order to lower the cost on your ownership. That to me is something that you can also take into consideration, but I'm not going to put my name on that kind of advice because I'm not your salesperson and I don't know everything about what you're doing. So enough about Tahoes. I've gone on to a lot of detail about Tahoes, but that's a good one to note because it's a very common vehicle in our lineup. Blazers right now, only 32% can be RS, which is the sporty trim lineup that I absolutely love. It's very similar to a Sport XT5, and I think it's just an absolutely gorgeous vehicle. On the Equinox side, all-wheel drive is being an issue right now for the base models, but for the higher trim levels, there's no issue. So Equinox, you should be pretty fair game in being able to get anything you want, except for the RS trim, which is only a 30% constraint. So that's not a bad issue in any way. Trailblazers RS package is at 32%, and the driver confidence package you cannot get at all, and that's for greater than 4 weeks. Trucks. Trucks are in the same boat as the full-size SUV. They're very similar in nature in terms of the suspensions and the powertrain, so it's not surprising to realize that the pickup trucks are going through the same issues. Because it was at the beginning of the mid-cycle refresh, they did a lot of chips to them, but now they're kind of back in the same where they're 50-50 in terms of allotment. And I'm starting to see that the bigger items like V8 engine, 6.2 liter V8 engine, only 14% of all Silverados being built for the week of November 21st are going to be allowed. So 1/5 can be that, which is still a decent amount. Not everybody wants a big honking pushrod L86 V8 engine. The 5.3 liter V8 engine, you can get 40%, which is a very large amount. I would say that that's a decent share and probably would be a natural amount. The diesel engine, again, 12% for full-size crew cab Silverados. That's not as much as we would want. Harvest Bronze, the new color, I really am excited for that. Only 1% of all allocation can be a Harvest Bronze, so a very rare option to say the least. And Super Cruise, only 1% of all pickup trucks being built right now can have Super Cruise. That is a very stark low amount. Not happy about that. Sunroofs, only a quarter of all pickup trucks can be built right now with a sunroof. These are major things. Luckily for the sunroof, it's less than 4 weeks, so that's not going to be a long-term issue. And same with the multi-pro tailgate, which is 25% right now. So short-term, sunroof, multi-pro tailgate. Long-term, diesel engine being about one in every 6 trucks being able to get that. And also for the Super Cruise and stuff like that. Technology package, this is again, your heads-up display, the live stream camera mirror, surround vision, those types of things. It's going to be a long-term issue. 0%. Nothing is getting built with the tech package. That hurts, especially when we've done a mid-cycle refresh where it's a facelift mainly on the inside with the new Google operating system, a beautiful landscape display, very techie upgrade, and then to not have the tech package. I can't sugarcoat that one. And to see that for greater than 4 weeks, that's going to be something that you're just going to have to either bite the bullet and know that on the next truck that you get, you can hope for it, or maybe decide on changing your strategy and maybe coming back to it in quite some time. It says greater than 4 weeks. It doesn't specify what, but I've heard through the rumor mill that it might be up to 6 months until we have that issue solved. So embrace it and know that this is something that you can't change, and at least you know about it instead of trying to fight to get information and your dealer not giving you that insight. ZR2, it seems like they're tapering off production with that. The ZR2 only got 2% of allotment, and that would be the same for the AT4X as well. So all of these allotment pieces that I'm giving you are the exact same for the Sierra. That's why I'm not going into the Yukon and the Sierra lineup. So if you're looking at getting a GMC, there's going to be 25% constraint on them as well. There's no difference in any way because you could have a GMC Sierra or a Yukon and a Tahoe all built on the same line at the same time, and there's no variations in any way. So yeah, that is the major ones to note for that. Corvettes. In all honesty, you know, the strategy of all or nothing has been the same throughout, and I'm not seeing that really change in any way. I can't find the Corvette right now. Where is it? Uh-oh, what did I do with the Corvette? I had it. Sorry, guys. I know some of the things off of memory. I must have dropped it on the way here. Corvettes right now, Mag Ride non-Z51 is 30%. To get Z51 and Mag Ride or FE4 is 70% allocation, and non-Z51 is 30% allocation. There are no Z06s that are getting built, as we already know, so that sucks. But as of right now, in terms of Corvettes, I don't understand how I lost that. That's frustrating. There is nothing really noteworthy to talk about in terms of the Corvette. It's right here. So I was right. Mag Ride 30% for a non-Z51, so an FE2. If you're wanting an FE3, no issues in that. Z51, you can do 70% are for a Z51, so that's already well and above what mainly people choose for Z51, so there shouldn't be an issue in that. We normally are batting around the high 60s in terms of the amount of people that are ordering a Z51 package over a non-Z51, so I don't see that as an issue. You know, that's a constraint that they've kind of tapered into being right in along the lines of where we order these vehicles. So, you know, even though I'm saying that there's constraints, there really isn't, because 100% of the people that are ordering Corvettes across the country are not ordering Z51. So for them to have 70% of the parts to be able to do that, sounds like they're going to be fine. In terms of floor mats, still the kookiest, weirdest constraint. It's not available right now. So floor liners are not available. Chrome wheel locks are not also available. And this is a new one. I apologize. Breaking news. The black forged aluminum wheels are not available right now. They are on 0% constraint, and so is the high wing spoiler. So I apologize. There are some new news. I like these black spoke gloss forged wheels. I think they're really great, and it's greater than 4 weeks. So that's a big thing to note. Now with wheels, I've made a name for this. That's something that you can solve. It's not like Mag Ride. So that's really why I think subconsciously I didn't even pick up on it, because wheels can be easily solved. That's not an issue. And if you're in the northern states, you might be picking up a vehicle and storing it right away. So if it doesn't have the right wheels for the springtime, not a big issue. That gives us 4 months to be able to find you some gloss black forged wheels. And I think I can solve that by then. All right, Cadillacs. CT lineup, lot of constraints right now. Black wings, 0%, no production for black wings. Carbon fiber on these black wings, if you could even build them, is 0%. Super Cruise, 25% can have Super Cruise. And other than that, there's not really a lot to talk about. Escalades, this is a big one. Half of them can be Platinums, which has been the normal case for quite some time in terms of allotment. 25% can be Sport trim Escalades, so Platinum Sport or regular Sport. 0 Vs to Canada for this week, which sucks. Diesel engine, 15%, so same as the Tahoe and the Uke. And Onyx package is finito. They have got no Onyx package. It's less than 4 weeks, so it shouldn't be an issue for much longer. But as of right now, if you're trying to order an Onyx package or a Radiance package, you cannot get it. And then rear media, 45% can have rear media, which is higher because they want to have them on the Escalades because it's a higher trim level. So you'll always see that there's more tech-related items that are allowed or allotted to the higher trim levels. Hate to say it, you know, if you're ordering a Tahoe, it does not feel nice to know that if you ordered an Escalade that you could have got the rear media, but that's the case with this. And vice versa, if you're paying good money for an Escalade, I would hope that you can get the features that you wanted on the vehicle. And everything that I'm talking about goes for the long wheelbase versions of these SUVs as well. Okay, Corvette stuff. I have a new Corvette accessory part, and it finally arrived, and I have 30. So I prepared. I knew that as soon as I put this on the channel that this would create some interest, and so I wanted to do that. This here, guys, I just took the tape off. I haven't actually opened it up to look inside, is the stealth emblem for the Corvette. So this is, I think, going to be a fun retrofit that a lot of people are going to do. Here it is, guys. This is your stealth emblem that you can get. It is $144 Canadian. To do the labor on it is 0.2 of an hour at your GM dealership, and the part number for it is 848-72163. If you live in Canada and you want one, I can arrange that and I can mail you one out. I'm not trying to charge a premium or anything like that. That's just what it is, and it's coming right from the parts department. So I'm going to put this on one of the Corvettes that we have coming in, and it's a very easy application. You're just going to take this alcohol swab after you've taken off the old logo, and you're going to slap it into that recessed area. So the template is basically the recessed area where the logo already goes in. Very easy retrofit, and I think this is going to be a popular item, so I ordered 30 of them to make sure that I had them in, and it's at a reasonable price point to change the nature of the beast, especially if you're going for an all blacked out look. So that is, I think, enough talking in here. Let's throw in some fun stuff from Carlisle and some adventures that I have going around on the lot, and we'll wrap up this episode. I hope you guys enjoyed. Holy cow, I did not realize that I just went on a 31-minute rant. I apologize. There's a lot of very important information in that, and it was necessary. It's long overdue since the last time that I did one. So hopefully people can reference this for the next quarter. I am going to try to do these more frequently. There's a lot of things that I'm going to try to film in a lot smaller of episodes, so I apologize. I will put bookmarks in on this so that you can reference this information easier, but this was a necessary episode because there's a lot of people right now that are starting to order vehicles as we're starting to get the volume back up there, and I think it's important that you understand how to order these vehicles instead of trying to get something done, not understanding why it's going through, and being frustrated about it. So I hope that this episode helped out people. We will do more content related to builds next, so this is going to be the educational episode, and then we'll go on to some fun stuff in the future. So thank you very much for watching. If you liked what I did, please hit the subscribe button. It does help me out in being able to give Google some insight on this. And also, if you're looking at ordering a vehicle in Canada, I got no distractions. I've got all my car shows over with. I've got a full quarter ahead of me until Christmas of working, and I would love to be able to help you out in ordering a vehicle. My dealership is killing it in terms of allotment, and we would love to be able to help you out in getting a vehicle. So reach out if you're interested on the email below. Thanks a lot.